service. I hope you also enjoyed the song. I picked that because it's a favorite song of mine, and I think it's just a perfect song to start the day off right. We're truly blessed to be able to gather here today, whether in person or virtually. We have life and we have strength, so should be thankful. For today's message, I would like to focus on the New Testament lesson, Matthew chapter 22, verses 15 to 22, specifically verse 21, and it reads, They answered, the emperors. Then he said to them, Give therefore to the emperor the things that are the emperor's, and to God the things that are God's. This verse speaks to me about setting priorities, allocating your time and energy to the appropriate things. Give what is due. As it is Youth Sunday, today I will be talking about a few priorities that I think are important for us as young people and that we should focus on in our everyday lives. These priorities also parallel for the elders of the church, of course, and they are God, health, your mindset, and goals. So, firstly, our relationship with God. Without Him, we wouldn't be here today. We have to remember to give Him thanks for all that He has done for us. Establish a good relationship with Him. You don't have to be in church to speak to God. You don't have to be alone to speak to Him either. He's omnipresent and hears our thoughts. Don't be afraid to whisper a quick prayer wherever you are. Remember Him in your good times and your bad times. I often see people who only know to say a prayer when they are in need. So, they'll be facing a challenge. When there seems like there's no other option, they would pray and be like, God, please help me in this situation. Or, God, if you get me through this situation, I promise to do this, or I promise to do better, or something of the sort. This should not be the case. We should aim to have a consistent relationship with Him no matter what, worshiping Him in spirit and in truth. You may be tested and tempted, trials will come your way, but those things will pass. With Him, anything is possible. The next priority that I would speak about is our health. So, a big priority that we should have in our lives is taking care of our health and well being. And when I say health and well being, I don't mean just physically. We should aim to maintain holistic well being, and that entails physical health, mental health, spiritual health, financial health. There's a big list, but those are just a few. Now, I know I'm guilty because I'm not on the better side of all of these categories, but I know how important they are, and I try to make an effort to ensure that I'm taking care of some, if not all, of these aspects daily. So, participating in activities that are for the betterment of our well being leads to more positive effects than negative. Being in good physical health reduces chances of disease and sickness. It can increase life expectancy, promotes neurogenesis, improves your mood, can give you more energy throughout the day, and in general, just makes one feel better. Caring for your mental health can lead to clearer thinking, less anxiety, reduces feelings of being worn out, and from also being depressed, reduces chances of depression. So, growing up in Jamaica, I knew it was an issue there, but since moving here, I've seen that it also affects other communities, Caribbean communities, Black community, etc. I've realized that mental health isn't really prioritized, or it's not given the level of importance that it needs to have. I know there are many people out there who suffer from depression and are afraid to speak out on it because they're afraid of being ridiculed. And if you can't speak to your own family about the topic, I could just imagine how scary it must be to speak to a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
And also, there are disparities in the Black community where proper access to good mental health care providers, etc., or just counselors. So I implore everyone to educate themselves about mental health, the benefits of taking care of your mental health, and the illnesses that can result from poor mental health. With this knowledge, I hope you will understand the necessity to care for your mental health. And also, I could just tie this back to having a relationship with God. Now, I know not in every case, you can pray the depression or whatever away, pray the bad feelings away. But if we're firm, God-fearing individuals, and we believe that talking to God can, help to like relieve some of this mental stress that we might be having at times. Um, right. So setting good habits for your health early in life can have a tremendous impact later on. So take some time to focus on these things. Prioritize your health. Next, I'd like to speak about mindset and goals. So, what is it that you wish to achieve in life? You may or may not have it figured out as yet, but you have an idea of what it is, right? So, to achieve these things, you need to set goals and develop a system. So, your goals can be short term or long term, but it is essential that we're setting smart goals. So, your goals should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be attainable. So, realistic, should be relevant, and they should be time bound. So, an important thing to remember, even with setting smart goals, is that even if you don't reach your goal in the set time that you have for it, like that doesn't mean you have failed. If it's something that you want and like that's what you want for yourself, keep putting in the necessary effort and continue working towards your goal. As I spoke about effort, you have to realize that just wanting it isn't going to make it happen. So you actually have to be putting in the necessary efforts. And I could also tie this back with our relationship with God. Remember, God helps those who helps themselves. So putting the effort, also remembering God in whatever you do, and you keep working towards it, I do believe you'll have success. So, in talking about like these goals and continue with the effort, putting in the necessary efforts, story I'd like to share was, so when I was in my senior year of high school, which I know some of us, some of the youth might be in their senior year or getting close to that year. So to enter college, we have to do the SATs or the ACTs. I'm not a big fan of standardized tests, but it was required. So I took the SATs, and on my first attempt, I got a decent score. However, that wasn't the score that I had hoped for, and I was really trying to get a higher score just to say, for financial aid purposes to offset my college expenses and all of that. So after getting that score and I wasn't pleased with it, I decided, I'm going to try it again. So I gave myself a few months to continue studying, and I took the test again. But this time I got, I believe, my score wasn't, I think I got like probably 20 points more or something like that, but it still wasn't what I wanted. And I was like, wow, well, I'm not going to get I'm going to get be qualified for the financial aid. And it had set me, I had been a little bit disappointed. And then I explored different options. So then I realized that I hadn't taken the ACT as it. So I started exploring that, and I realized that the ACT has a science portion, and I'm more of a science student. So I signed up for the ACTs, and it was just like probably the last test date before, like, because there's a timeline where you have to send in your test scores and all of that. And I think I got like close to one of the last test dates. I tested so close to the end of the school year. I practiced for that, and on the ACTs, it ended up that I got like 2 points over like the minimum score that I needed to qualify for the financial aid that I wanted to get. So when I saw this, I was like so happy. So I just wanted to show that, like, even though you might not achieve it on the first or your second try, but as long as you continue putting in the effort and continue putting in the effort towards your goals, you can achieve it. And with doing so, also remember to have a positive mindset and have a growth mindset instead of a fixed one. So if you fail, don't say like, wow, I failed, I can't do this. Say, instead say to yourself, I didn't do so well this time around. So how can I do better next time? What can I do to improve this? And just having a positive mindset, I think overall um, just impacts your general life. Because if you're pessimistic all the time, like, you're essentially defeating yourself before you have even started, so try to always have a positive mindset in everything that you do and have a growth mindset. And with all of what I've just said, I think it all comes full circle about having a relationship with God, um, so remember him in everything that you do. um, don't be afraid to call on him for help, but don't only just speak to him when you need help, but continue putting in the work on your end, and God will do the work on his end. um, so there's any of the church, set your priorities, allocate your time and energy wisely. Remember he you give unto him what is due to him. Give what is due. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed the service. I know it was a bit short, but I think I said what I needed to. So thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Sister Shanay. Quite inspiring for our young people.